there's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Here with Zach at our Gone Rogue Games store. And I thought I'd bring Zach into this because it adds a little more perspective to the new MTGO treasure as rewards. I explained it with a video with MTG Headquarters. I'll put the link in the description below. As well, if you've been following me on Twitter, I've been pretty much just lashing out for the past couple days against Wizards of the Coast in their new system. One last thing too, I'll put it in the link description below. Saffron Olive, Seth from MTG Goldfish wrote an article about just the history of MTGO, just to see how bad it's been and how we shouldn't look for a positive future with just the horrible past that the MTGO has had, especially with redemptions and prize support and whatnot. So let's just get into it. And I'll put the links up here, or not the links, some pictures up here for you to look at the comparisons between the old and the new. I have not liked the old. I was one of the very few people that was very outspoken about the old when they changed from going completely over from booster packs over to the new prize points. But anyway, I was one of the few people saying that having $2, like in a two-man queue, for example, if two people put $2 in, a $4 pack comes out, is fine for the economy because it stabilizes the economy, and the drafters at least win. Someone wins out of it. Whereas the new prize, when they switched over to the prize points, I had a lot of my grinder friends say, this is so wonderful because I can do more tournaments over and over and over because it's being paid out. Like a 35 or 3.5 expected value is better than when booster packs go down to 1.6. Like in tournaments, I think they went even under $1. And so they could never just keep playing standard over. But at least the drafters got to play for nothing. And that was a huge drive to MTGO. And that actually led to inexpensive cards to build decks. And so I was a lot better with that system than the new system. Of course, I thought that they should have done more to stabilize their economy. The easiest way they could have done that was to allow people to choose which booster packs in print they wanted. Because after a while, some of the booster packs went up to like a flat 4. And they stayed there. So anyway, let's just talk about the old standard, then we'll talk about what we do for Gone Rogue Games. I swear I'll let Zach talk here. But the old we had on a two-man queue, 20 play points each went in. Two people put in 20 points each. And 35 went out. 32 winner, 5 to loser. Why they were giving losers points was beyond me because it just seems so weird. I mean, that's basically, you'd have to keep a way high percentage just to break even.
They give you, like, on Pokemon Online, they actually give you 5 points for losing, but they give you a bunch more for winning, too, plus extra experience. So
you're building towards stuff.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good example. They probably went and looked at some of these online games and said, oh, what do they do? And try to mimic it, at the same time trying to put in this little rake. Yeah. Now, let me explain a rake. I'm an ex-poker player. I used to play online poker a ton before it became illegal. And one of the worst things about online poker is the community always loses. The house is taking out per hand at a certain percentage of a rake. And usually it's actually less, I believe, than what MTGO is taking, which is sad because online poker is considered gambling. And it's so funny that Wizards has been trying so often to distance themselves from poker, from online gambling, because there is a lot of parallels between the two. So anyway, the old system effectively took between an 8% and a 12.5% rake compared on what tournament you were playing. The 8-man queues were horrid, so bad that people quit even queuing up, and then they the way of MTGO dealing with, oh, these aren't popular, let's just get rid of them. Instead of figuring out why aren't they popular and trying to make them popular. I mean, since the beginning of MTGO, that has been the problem. It's been the disconnect between Wizards, like, oh, this isn't popular. Oh, I guess it's just a bad format, let's get rid of it, rather than really trying to look at the reasons why a person wants to enter a specific tournament. So the big one was the competitive leagues. So the competitive leagues used to require 12 event tickets or 120 play points. First place would receive the 10 booster packs, 120 play points, so they get their entry fee back, and 3 qualifying points, which qualifying points are for like these end of season tournaments called the Moxes, which do have good value, but I don't think that they should be considering prize going into that end of tournament thing. I think that should just be a promotional thing for playing MTGO to begin with. If you won 4 matches, so went 4-1, you got 6 packs and your entry fee free back. And if you won 3 matches, you got your entry fee back. So In a 32-man tournament, one person is going to get the 5-0. Five people are going to get 4-1, and 10 people are going to get 3-2. So basically, effectively, there's 3,840 points in, and then 1,920 points given back, and 40 packs. And if we be generous and use 40 points per pack, which is actually more like 3.33, because that's all it takes. That's all that draft values them, because they still have to put in play points, and so it devalues the actual value of a booster pack. But if we're generous and use basically what Wizards values a pack at 40, then it's 3,520 out. So there's a net deficit of 320, equaling 8.3% effective tax or rake. So that was the old one, and people were okay with it. I was in the minority of people that hated it, because if you were still a good player, like Morton said, he could go infinite on MTGO, and that gives at least people the drive to do so. Now, in the new system, though, Morton was the one that actually, I woke up and on my Facebook message was a message from Morton saying, I'm done with MTGO, there's no way I can go infinite now. So I went and looked at it, I'm like, it can't be as bad, maybe he's misunderstanding it, blah, 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 and lo and behold, they added a thing called Treasures. Treasures, I'll try to put the links in the description below, too, of MTG Lee, explaining what Treasures are. But Treasures are effectively just a booster pack you can't use for anything else. So
now you don't get booster packs as well.
You do. I'll go over that. But they're cutting it. What they're actually taking away is booster packs in the place of treasures. And my favorite comment was by, I think, Card Hoarders, or one of the major bots. They said very sarcastically, like, so you're giving out a product that gives random cards. Doesn't that sound familiar? Isn't that what a booster pack is? And you're right, except a booster pack can be used by drafters. A treasure can't. That is the biggest... I understand this is, to me, a little bit malicious. I don't want to just automatically assume that Wizards is necessarily malicious. I really just think they're stupid and just really disconnected with the community, where they thought this would be this really good idea. But you have more things you can do with the booster pack. There's only one thing you can do with the treasure. You can only open them. In fact, they're not tradable, so you just have to open them. And
seriously?
Yeah, they're not tradable.
Pokemon.
They're tradable on Pokemon?
You can trade anything on Pokemon. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so this is horrid. So you have to open them and just gamble, basically. And in my conversation at MTG headquarters, we guarantee that one of them's going to have something crazy in it, just so people are like, oh, treasures, look, I can win 10,000 points or some like astronomical number. But I don't think that's good overall for the community. So I did the math on the competitive leagues with the treasures to make up the difference in prize support. So now it's the competitive is still the same entry. It's still 12 tickets or 120 play points. But first place only gets it gets a little more points actually for first place. It gets 180 points, 3 qualifier points, and 8 treasures. So actually, yeah, they actually don't give out booster packs, yeah. So, oh yes they do, 6 boosters. So it went from 10 boosters to 6 boosters, and 8 treasures are supposed to equal 4 boosters. But when you do the math with treasures, so let's just say, and then 4 and 1 gets 3 boosters, 180 play points, and 3 treasures, and third place just gets their entry fee back in 1 treasure. So they're actually kind of paying out lower than they used to with the new, which kind of ticks off the new player or the competitive players that go 4-1 and 5-0. So anyway, so we have this net deficit of 320 points. Let me pull this back up, my screen refreshed. So the new deficit, if you were to add up all the prize support, would be 3,840 in, 2,280 points out, and 21 packs at the 40 value equals 3,120. So the new net deficit is 720 points, and that's a 400 difference between the old. So just to kind of break back to that 8.3% rake, the treasures need to be worth 1.21 per treasure. To make up the complete deficit, to make it like a break-even scenario, a treasure must be 2.18. So when MTG Lee opened up his, he got lucky and got a force of will out of his 10 treasures, which me and MTG headquarters really think that he did a ton of takes until he found like a decent card. And to show people, whoa, that's still only 2.66. With being extremely lucky, with the force of will that he opened, with the points that he opened. Why they give back points is so stupid to begin with. Who cares? That just seems, it should be something special, or I don't know. And then he got a reman, which is worth nothing. So it's like under a ticket. And the rest of it was all bulk rares. In fact, they say that the majority of packs are just going to have a bulk rare from a standard set, and the chance of getting a rare from a modern set, the chance of getting a curated card, which the average price of a curated a card from their curated list is 0.75 tickets, sharply going down as we speak. And so the average rare of a standard set is like really, really low. It's like 0.05, so 5 cents. And it's just horrible estimated value. Some people are saying that it's going to be around like 0.7 maybe of the average treasure. And so the deficit is going to be very, very huge. So all in all, just to wrap this up, the treasure is worse than the old system, which is worse than the old system, which is worse than the old system that you can go check out how they used to do everything from on Seth's article from MTG Goldfish. And it just continues to see that we're going in the wrong direction with MTGO. And right now, the market has responded. MTGO is down about 15% on most of the modern staples. And it's just going to continue to crash as people are just fed up and had enough with Wizards. Whew! There's that. So now we're going to bring in the local game store. So here's where Zach really comes into play because he manages the store a little bit more than us. So explain what these are, Zach.
These are Gone Rogue Games Plunder Points. In a sense, they work kind of like how TCG does their point...
Channel Fireball,
my bad. Does their points at their GPs. So every point... Pretty much you got 50 cents, $1, $2.50, $5.10, and we pretty much break these down and hand them out at our Friday Night Magics or for any type of tournament we do to bring value back and have value cycle back through the system.
Yeah, and we like to give these out because this is a personal thing for me. I hate booster packs. I'm going to always hate booster packs. The expected value of booster packs right now, you have this piece of garbage. The estimated value is like 1. How much is Zendikar gone down to? It's horrid. Horrible. Horrid. You're gambling. You're trying to get an expedition out of this. But the value out of this is terrible. So for me as a player, when I used to play like Epic Puzzles and Games, one of the reasons why I used to play at Epic Puzzles Games is it give back store credit rather than booster packs. And then I could use the store credit for singles or more entry fees. In fact, the Pro Tour that I qualified for was the PTQ I played in Epic Puzzles Games was only played in because I had store credit. And I was trying to actually burn some store credit because I was moving. And I'm like, oh, cool. I would have not played in that if they didn't have that store credit system. So I've always liked store credit. We give out... so if basically if people... Say we do a $5 standard tournament. $5 comes in from everyone. $5 comes out with everyone. Actually, usually a little bit more because we always round up if we need to like split points. We always round up to the nearest dollar. And usually when there's people with like awkward win records, it's going to make us put in a few more points just to make a nice split between people than just putting out. So like say like $40 comes in, usually like 42 comes out because it just makes say 45 comes in. That's an awkward number to split up. Usually 46 or 48 goes out so we can actually split the points more evenly for the like 4-0 records, 3-0 records and whatnot. So we usually don't pay out per place either because it decentivizes actually playing the last game between like first and second. They always just draw. And so by points, it's a lot better value going out. But that's a story for another day. So effectively, what does your Play Network say a store does, Zach?
With the store, they pretty much give us the option to give out anything we want.
Yeah, but what do they encourage us to do?
Pretty much pay out more usually. Yep. Pay out more, bring more people in.
Pre-release, we're expected to buy a box from them. And Wizards provides one box. So for every pre-release, for every 36-man pre-release tournament, Wizards will give you a box as prize support, but that's only one booster pack per person for buying into the pre-release. We have to, and that's a huge overhead. And then they say, hey, here's the option to actually give your people 2 packs and whatnot. And we eat that as a store just to incentivize it.
They give you 2 packs per person, but they give you options to buy more as well, so you can pay out more to your pre-release as well too. But they do give you 2 per person.
Do they give us 2 per person?
Yes.
They expect us to buy that second box. They do.
Like our first pre-release, we'll get a free box. But if we get another pre-release, we have to buy.
Yes, I know.
We have to buy it for that pre-release.
Yes. So they don't give us the 2 packs. They do not. I looked at the thing. If they give us about a 1 pack per person to give out.
If we were to order 1 kit, we would get the 2 packs.
We get 2 boxes per.
Yes, if we order the first pre-release kit.
So you're saying an 18 would give us a box?
18 would give us a box, yes. Okay. Where if we do another 18, we're expected to pay for all of that.
Yeah, okay. So so 18 is very, very low. So they cover that, but then after that, we're the stores are eating it. And that's very, very, if you're going to a local game store that uses a rake like MTGO, that's the last place you want to be. The majority of game stores I've been to, they've always tried to spice the pot to get people to come. Another thing we do with plunder points is these are cash value here at the store, and we honor anything that's like cash value. So we have this 3 for 10 deal for standard boosters. People can actually trade in 100 points to get 3 booster packs. And we don't try to jack up to $4 a pack or say people, they have to pay, this for $12 for 3 boosters to enter another draft. They basically do that. Same thing with like drafts. When people play drafts, so they do a draft, and it's like we'll have a price for it, like $15, $12, whatever people decide on the draft. We usually just say $10 is the cost of the draft, and the rest of it goes towards prize support. No rake. We actually bump it up using our 3 for 10 value, not $4 value. And I mean that's just common good business practice to try to incentivize people. Now, as an MTGO player and a local game store owner, I am quite offended by Wizards' need to take a rake. First of all, they're not providing a space for people to play. It's digital. They're providing a format. But don't you dare say that their cost of actually running, the server cost of actually running per player, MTGO, is more expensive than my overhead per cost of table and everything else per player here. And it's like if anyone should be taking a rake, it might be a local game store. But Wizards Play Network really tries to encourage you not to do that. And so it's just troubling to me that Wizards has a standard for everyone else and then an excuse for themselves. Or it's just horrible.
Well, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, imagine, let's say here, okay, we got our players. Let's go ahead. Let's forget this credit. We're going to keep all of that. Let's take a $10 card and say, good luck, guys.
Yep, here's our treasures.
These are all of our repacks that are completely, utter bulk. Well, I probably repacked this one, so it might not be bulk. But.
Well, we do repacks differently here at the store. We use them to draft and play leagues. They're for new players that don't have money. And then it's funny, too, because our repack drafts, all of it goes to prize support. So if we do a draft with this, it's a $3 draft. These cards are given to our players for free, and $3 per person goes into the pot. So it's just, again, another way to incentivize people coming here. And like if these are grab bags, for example, which is what essentially treasures are, one of these might have a Liliana and like the bazillion of them that we have, and then you expect them, the EV of them is so low if people are doing grab bags that, oh man, I'm just fed up with Wizards. This might be the final straw. I can't go anywhere since I'm a YouTube creator. I need MTGO. I'm not going to be the first one that gets banned by Wizards by playing X-Mage or whatnot, or these illegal, third-party software. So MTGO, I don't have a choice. I've put thousands upon thousands of dollars into MTGO. Every week when I do a Playing on a Budget or Rogues Alley episode for Gathering Magic, sometimes those actually, I don't even break even to build those decks. There's been a couple of them. I remember the Phyrexian Obliterator deck I made like a couple months ago cost me a ton of money at 30 tickets a piece for the Phyrexian Obliterators that I didn't have. So I actually lost money on that video series. So I've put a crap ton of money into MTGO. And I don't know, I just feel very insulted as a player and as a person that is just put my heart and soul into this game for Wizards to say, hey, we need a rake. When every other game, what games do you play?
I play Hearthstone and I play Pokemon Go. And any game on your phone too,
which are free to play.
Yeah, free.
You can sign up for Hearthstone or Pokemon for free,
completely,
and earn cards. Free. It takes forever, but you can earn cards. If you want to skip the earning process, you buy them.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. Pokemon, you don't even have an option to buy. You just buy booster packs. That's it. You buy booster packs. You get a code. You get to go on there and play. You don't have to buy anything from either of them. It's
I would even say Clash of Clans and Pokemon Go have better business models because they reward people from playing. The only other thing besides MTGO that does not reward its players for playing is online poker. That's it. And it's just so counterintuitive. It's so insulting as a gamer, and I've really just kind of lost all credibility with Wizards. Lastly, I just want to speak about so that's MTGO. Lastly, one of the things I spoke about with MT Headquarters again, go find that link in the description below. We ramble for like over an hour. Is the new lottery of booster packs too. I'm kind of as a store owner. I talk about restaurants using food cost as a good business model because your tables can only seat a certain amount of people per hour. So a table needs to earn a certain amount of money just to keep the overhead going. That means you have to get the highest amount of percentage per food item as possible. And food cost likes to be down to about 23% is where you want food costs to be. Otherwise, you're not going to be profitable. And that's kind of how it is being in a very limited area like Richfield. People come in with a very finite amount of money. We don't have an infinite source of potential revenue streams like some of the bigger cities do. And so when people come in and buy booster packs, they're our lowest margin of value. And it's because we have to be competitive with like eBay and Amazon and other stores that might sell 3 for $10 or even less than 3 for $10. And it just basically, boosters are terrible. Now when that seems like that's all we sell now because people are chasing those stupid lottery ticket cards. And it's like singles have been driven way down. I just do not like the direction, the money grab direction that Wizards is going, rather than trying to focus on a healthy game and a player rate. I think they did a terrible job converting people over to Modern. Usually we see this about every rotation. Yeah. We see people get sick of standard rotation, so they invest back into Modern. I'll talk about this more for for Market Monday, but Modern prices are also crashing right now. Paper prices are crashing right now. I think it's a very unhealthy direction that Wizards taken. Us as store owners were very scared by Wizards' lack of involvement in the community, of community concerns, and lack of involvement of really hearing like store owners' cries, desperate pleas for a change. I personally don't like Modern at the moment, but I wish that Wizards would at least address it and try to... I was watching, I think it was like Magic Mike's and a few other podcasts of all these people saying how healthy Modern is right now, how the metagame is so diverse. Unfortunately, the player base doesn't agree with you. You can see that quite easily by the crash of Modern prices, Modern staples. I was looking at Affinity. If it's not called Bant Eldrazi, the prices of those cards have gone down. So we're talking about Jund, Affinity, Burn, all these staple decks. The average price of the deck has gone way down, which some people might say is good for the format. It's only good if there was reprints to kind of to get the price down. So the price of crashing from Modern is really just because people are quitting the format, and there's no ifs, buts, and ors around it. That is the sheer data that actually makes sense. Not anecdotal evidence from your local game store, not anecdotal evidence from one experience at a GP somewhere or one tournament somewhere in Europe. The real hard evidence is, are Modern prices going down after a rotation when they should be going up, or are they going? Or exactly what's happening. In this case, I'll talk more about it on Market Monday. So. Yeah, long-winded. We've been going this. I've been talking over Zach the entire time, as usual.
That's all we happen.
Yeah, but I'll have all the links for this, everything, and let me know in the comment section how you think. Are you going to stick with MTGO? I have to stick it out, but I really want change. Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com.
And this is Zach. Thanks for watching. Wait. So, do you think they'd really want to watch me in my full drag open a booster box?
Or is this still recording?
I think so.
You do what you want, you degenerate.